Let's talk about some of the features that are available then within Joshua by having an account. So you see the link up here at the top of the page that says sign in to my EBSCO account. In some cases, students already have a my EBSCO account from another institution or something like that. That's fine because it's a universal login. But if you don't have one, we highly encourage you to create an account because you can do some things by having an account that you otherwise would not be able to do. Very useful things. So if you click on that link, it brings you to the login page. And if you don't have an account, if you scroll down to the bottom, it says don't have an account, create one now. You can create your own My EBSCO host account is what it's called, technically. Your username is going to have to be fairly unique because this is worldwide. So repeating username wise, you know, if your name is Joshua Smith or something like that, and you're expecting to get J Smith as your username, you're going to be out of luck. So you have to come up with something fairly unique as your username, and then your password. Create an account. And once you create an account, you can do some things in here that are very useful features. One of the first ones that I'll draw your attention to is the ability to actually save the individual results themselves into folder structures that you've created on the basis of whatever the projects are that you're working on. So up here at the top, you'll see this link that says for folder. If you're logged into your account and you click on folder, you can go into a series where you are able to sort of build folders according to the various things that you're searching for, the various topics that you're looking at. So you might have a folder for, in my hypothetical youth ministry paper, you might have another folder for a paper on Pauline theology, another folder for other papers, something like that. Once you get those folders set up, and you have it set up in such a way that you have them organized paper by paper or topic by topic, or however you want to do it, whatever your organization system is, once you're logged in and you see results, you'll see that each one of the results has this icon of the folder with the plus sign inside it. And if you click on that while you're logged in, and after you have those folders set up, a little pop-up will show up that'll ask you which folder you want to put that result in. And so you can tell it, oh, okay, well, this is, you know, my Pauline theology paper, or this is my youth ministry paper, or whatever. You can direct your results individually into those folders and keep an organized structure that has them set apart from one another. So that way, whenever you're coming back and you're returning to your research, or maybe when you're coming back to build your bibliography, you're not having to go through and search for each one of those again individually to find it to get the information that you need for your bibliography. Instead, you would have all of those ready to go for you in that folder, and all you got to do is log in, click on that folder, go inside there, you see the results, and then you can choose them one by one, and you can actually build a bibliography that way through the citation management software. So a very useful feature to be able to actually save the individual results themselves by folder. But something that's perhaps even more useful than that is the ability to actually save the searches that you do. So I don't know if you're like me, but there have been times in the past where I've gone in and done searches and I followed this link to this article, which then led me to this one and then led me to another one. It's very easy to forget how you got to the point where you were. If you log in with a My EBSCO host account, you can actually save the searches that produce the best results so that you can say stop your research and then come back to it later on, go back in and pick up where you left off before with the results from that particular search that produced the best ones. The way to do that is in the search history. So once you've signed into your account, after you create one, you'll see this link here under the search boxes that says search history. If you click on that and you are not logged in, it's going to give you what it's about to produce right here for us, which is going to be a list of all the searches that we did during this particular browser session. So if I were to close my window and then try to go back in, I would lose all of these searches that are listed here because they were just from this one particular browser session. I haven't saved any of them. However, the last search was the one that produced the best results, right? That was church work with youth as the subject heading, youth ministry found within the text of the article itself, peer-reviewed journal articles from roughly about the past 10 years. This would be the one in this case, in my hypothetical example, my youth ministry paper that I might be interested in saving, right? To be able to return to and come back to it. So I would put a check mark in the box here for this search. And they're organized in the order that you did them. So you see S8, that was the 8th search total. It counts it as 8 because of the various limiters that we added in, that sort of thing. The very first one that we did, of course, is down here at the bottom, search 1 for the keyword search of youth ministry. So I'd put a check mark in the box for the search that I'm interested in saving, and then I would click this link for Save Searches / Alerts. And just like there is a folder structure that I can do for my results, there is also a folder structure that I can create for saved searches, likewise, for various projects. And so it would ask me if I had multiple folders, which one do you want to put it in? If I don't have multiple folders, it's just going to default into a folder called Saved Searches. And that's where I would find it whenever I go back in. So let's say I saved the search, right? And I'm done researching for that day or whatever, and I'm going to pick back up a few days later. What does my process look like? Well, since I'm accessing it from off campus, first thing I would do is I would go ahead and log in to Canvas so that I'm authenticated into the seminary's proxy servers. Then I would go to the main library page. I would type anything, whatever it was, in the Joshua search box to get me into this point. I would sign in to my EBSCO account. I would click on folder. I would go to whatever folder had that saved search in it. I would click on that folder, and it would, if there were multiple searches, it would have a list. Otherwise, it would have just one. And it would have this link next to it that says rerun. And so once I click rerun, it's going to reproduce that exact same search that I saved previously that had the best results, and I can just pick right back up where I was and keep going from that point. So a very useful feature to save your research and then continue on with it. But it's also very useful in terms of, say, keeping up with whatever the most recent research is on whatever your topic is. So in the case of, say, like, if you have an idea right now of what you think you might want to write your dissertation on, you might want to, say, go through and find something like this that produces really good results on whatever that topic is, and then have the ability to check in on it along the way over the course of your program to keep up with whatever the most recent research is. In that case, say I could set an alert for myself and on my phone or whatever, and say, okay, every month I'm going to go in first of the month and run this exact same search again to see if there are any new articles on whatever that topic is. Because within the results themselves, say I'm rerunning that search over and over again, one of the options for the results is to organize them by date newest rather than relevance. So I could do that, rerun that search, right, on a monthly basis, each time clicking on date newest, and I have a very easy way, very simple, very fast way to go in and see, okay, are there any new journal articles this month on whatever the topic is? See if they might be something that would be useful for me for my project or my paper. So a very handy way to keep up with the most current research on whatever the topic is. It doesn't necessarily have to be your dissertation or a paper that you're writing. It could be just something that you're interested in and you want to keep up with.